Welcome, everybody, to this college football playoff preview show. Today, we're going to talk about the Texas Longhorns hosting the Clemson Tigers. That'll be Saturday. It'll be the second game Saturday between the ACC conference champion and Texas out of the SEC. Came in second during the regular season or during the playoffs and regular season. They lost to Georgia twice. There are only two losses this season. Clemson is a team that had to beat SMU in the ACC championship to qualify for the tournament. And right now, Texas is favored by 11.5 points. And you can go, if you want to bet this game, check it out at BetMGM, the top sportsbook for betting on college football. Right now, 11.5 point Texas favorite. Make sure you click on the link in the description down below if you want to use BetMGM. All right, guys, Texas versus Clemson is a game that I don't think anybody really expected, especially after the first game of the season when Georgia just completely destroyed Clemson. Clemson hasn't been perfect, but get that program into the ACC championship, and it comes through. It got into the college football playoff first round after beating SMU in a thriller. And usually you get the program into the postseason, big things happen for Clemson. How strong has head coach Dabo Swinney been in the bowl college football playoff games? After losing his first two, he's 11-5. Two of those losses were in the college football championship game. Now, Texas was good throughout this season, but it dropped both games against Georgia, missed out on the top four, and it should be fine. The only question is, where were the other big wins this year? I mean, their schedule was not extremely difficult, a little bit kind of like the Indiana comparison, but it has the talent, it has the home field advantage, and the expectations to start winning in December on a regular basis. Steve Sarkisian has yet to win a bowl game at Texas, but there's a chance here to go on a run with Arizona State up next. All right. When you look at the bowl history for Texas and Clemson, this is the 60th postseason game for Texas. They are 32-25-2 in bowl games with two BCS championships factored in. After losing to Washington to end each of the last two seasons, including this college football semifinal last season, Texas hasn't won a postseason game since taking out Colorado in the 2020 Alamo Bowl. Clemson has played in 50 postseason games with 10 of them in the college football playoffs. With all of those extra games, the program has played 13 postseason games since 2015. They beat Kentucky in the bowl game last year, 38-35 in the Gator Bowl. The weather forecast is for this weather to be absolutely perfect. It's supposed to be 60 degrees, sunny, no precipitation. Wind will not be a factor. Now, if you look at the all-time record between Texas and Clemson, this is a shocker. This is the first ever meeting between the two schools. Now, when we look at why Clemson can win, can the Clemson defense hold up enough to keep this game close? The Texas attack needs to get hot right away. And it starts with the ground game. It was held to 31 rushing yards in the SEC championship loss to Georgia. It only came up with 29 yards in the first game with the Dogs. The ground attack ruled against everyone else, but they struggled against Arkansas in a tight 20-10 win and struggled in a 27-24 tight game against Vanderbilt. Clemson doesn't have to be a brick wall, but it does need to be decent. Clemson's run defense was hammered in a loss to South Carolina, and Louisville was effective with some long runs in their game. But everybody has struggled against this bunch. On the flip side, Clemson has to be in control from the start with its own running attack. The Tigers are 7-0 this season when averaging 5 yards or more per carry, and all 7 wins were by double digits. If that doesn't work, quarterback Cade Klubnik has to be razor sharp. The Tigers are usually fine as long as they're connecting on the ground. If they're fine on the ground, he connects 65% of his passes. The question is this: if the run game doesn't work, is Cade Klubnik good enough to win a playoff game with everything being on his shoulders? Now we look at Texas. While they'll win, forget about that thing with Clemson running on Texas. The Longhorns have yet to allow 5 yards per carry in any game. They play D like they have 13 guys on the field. Texas doesn't have to go crazy here. Get Quinn Ewers into a rhythm right away with the mid-range passing game. Push with that offensive line to soften things up against the run and keep on moving. Clemson is a momentum team, and the Longhorns have to take that away, and they have to take it away in the first quarter. They've outscored teams 108-17 in the first quarters of games this season. All should be fine with a few early scores to make Clemson have to press and play catch up. Klubnik is good, but there isn't enough downfield pop to make big comebacks if there's a problem early on. Now, who wins this game? Can 11.5 points be covered here by Texas? Now, I think the Tigers aren't going to beat themselves. They don't get hit with a slew of silly penalties, and they don't turn the ball over. What they are great at is forcing mistakes, with 25 takeaways on the season and 12 in the last 5 games. Texas has a major turnover problem. It gave the ball away 7 times in the last 3 games and multiple times in 5 of the last 7. There will be a few Longhorn turnovers as part of doing business, but that won't matter too much to the defensive side. The Texas defense will stuff the Clemson ground game. There will be too many stalls, and too many Tiger drives will be finished off with Nolan Hauser field goal attempts. I think in the end, Texas is going to win this game. The big question is 11.5 points too much to give here? Dabo Swinney is a great football coach. He will have his team ready, and I think the key is going to come in the first quarter. I think Texas will probably jump up 10-0. I think the rest of the game will be played about even. I think the issue at the end is going to be Cade Klubnik, whether he can throw the ball, whether he can make third down conversions. I think you end up with 3 or 4 field goals, a touchdown or 2. But I think in the end, Texas wins this game 30-20. But I'm going to take Clemson into points here. And I really think Clemson's got a legit shot to win this game, especially if they were to come out, get some early momentum, and get an early lead. I think then Clemson is all in to win this game. But I think the way it's more likely to go is you see Texas up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. Everything calms down. You get a little bit of a back and forth. The game ends up 30-20 Texas. So Texas will win the game, but take Clemson in the 11.5 points. All right, guys, if you're going to bet the game, go to BetMGM, the top sportsbook for betting on college football. If you want to follow me, go on X at Grueling Truth. Also, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. Check out thegruelingtruth.com. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.